Welcome back to Sportsbook Review Videos. We cashed all three of our NBA picks on a Sunday afternoon and evening, and heading into Monday, a very large slate of NBA action in the final 3 days of the regular season, and I am back once again to release my two best bets here, trying to keep the momentum that we started throughout the weekend going here on Monday night, and we will start it off in Brooklyn. The Brooklyn Nets versus the Washington Wizards, and the Wizards come in as a 5.5-point road favorite in this one, total of 211.5. Both these teams playing for little to nothing, especially the Brooklyn Nets, who don't even own their first-round pick this year. But that could lead to a game with very little defense, and I think a total of 211.5 from a site like Bookmaker here tonight. Very good opportunity to take the over here between these two clubs. Both these teams played yesterday. Both of them cashed the over. Both of them gave up a ton of points here. Actually, the Wizards scored a ton of points. They dropped 113 on the Charlotte Hornets. A very good defensive team, whereas the Nets gave up 129. And while Brooklyn has not been great on the second night of a back-to-back cash in the over, only 6-9, this is one of the first opportunities they have to play on no rest at home this season. So that, I think, will help out just a little bit. Especially because coming into this one, they've cashed the over now in their last 3 games in a row, giving up 121 points on average in those 3 games. The Wizards, on the other hand, they haven't been much better. They're cashing the over in 13-7 on no rest this season. They've given up 108 points per game in their last 6 games. Scored about that many as well, too. They've been, if they didn't give up many points in their last 6 games, they've scored them. So they're on a pretty good hot streak as well, cashing the over. They've cashed it in 5 of their last 6. I like taking the over here between these two clubs. I'm looking for a game with very little to no defense at 211.5. And finally, the Houston Rockets are playing for their playoff lives tonight in Minnesota. They are also coming off the back-to-back here, heading into Minnesota to play the Wolves tonight as a 3.5-point road favorite, total of 216.5. And while the Rockets have been up and down, not playing too great here recently, the Wolves over their last 3 games have looked very good. All 3 of them on the road, wins both straight up and against the spread, of course, famously against the Golden State Warriors, and they followed that up with good, solid wins against the Portland Trailblazers and the Sacramento Kings. And tonight, if they can slow down James Harden, I think that they have a really good chance of playing playoff spoiler here tonight. I think they could be motivated to knock the Houston Rockets out of the playoff race in this one. Houston had to actually play their starters in the fourth quarter against the Los Angeles Lakers. Didn't really pull away from them until later in the fourth quarter in that game. Was in the afternoon, so they do get a little bit extra rest. But Houston only 7-13 this season on the against the spread, coming off the back-to-back. That is the worst mark in the league. If the Wolves' defense is playing better like it has been, this is a team that's going to be very, very good and poised for a very big leap next season in the Western Conference. Very good young core. They could be trying to finish the season on a high note, as a lot of young teams with not a lot to play for other than lottery positioning do. Considering the Rockets have been giving up a ton of points on back-to-backs and on the road, about 108 points per game on the road this season, I like the Wolves to cover as 3.5-point home dogs. That'll do it for me this time. Make sure you stay tuned later for our odds couple show. I'll give you some of my prop betting selections here later this evening as well. But until then, for Sportsbook Review, I'm Jordan Sharp.